Hello everyone, got 3 jokes for you today. So a good-looking, well-dressed man in his late 40s or early 50s knocked on the door of a brothel. The madam answered and was taken aback by the man's respectable appearance. "Can I help you?" she asked. The man replied, "I want to see Natalie." The madam hesitated for a moment before warning him, "Sir, Natalie is one of our most expensive ladies. Perhaps you would prefer someone else." But the man was insistent. "No, I must see Natalie." Just then, Natalie appeared and announced her usual rate of $1,000 a visit. The man didn't even flinch and calmly pulled out 10 $100 bills and handed them to Natalie. They disappeared upstairs for an hour, and the man left without a word. The madam and the other girls were curious about him but didn't think much of it until the following night, when he appeared again, asking for Natalie. Natalie was surprised to see him and explained that no one had ever come back 2 nights in a row as it was too expensive, and she didn't give discounts. However, the man once again pulled out 10 $100 bills, handed them to Natalie, and went upstairs with her. After an hour, he left quietly again. Everyone was amazed when the man showed up for a 3rd night in a row. But he paid the $1,000, and they went upstairs. After their session, Natalie was intrigued and asked the man, "No one has ever used me 3 nights in a row. Where are you from?" The man replied, "South Carolina." Natalie's eyes widened in shock. "Really? I have family in South Carolina." The man smiled and said, "I know, your father died. I'm your sister's attorney, and she asked me to give you your $3,000 inheritance." So Betsy and Dan had been married for a quarter of a century, but their relationship was anything but loving. They were known for their constant fighting and bickering, and it seemed as if they couldn't stand to be in the same room together. One day, after 25 long years of marriage, Dan suffered a heart attack and passed away. Betsy, perhaps not feeling as sad as she thought she should, waited a few days before making her way to the local newspaper office to place an obituary. As she approached the ad editor, he informed her that they could do a 4-line obituary with a maximum of 80 words for $100. Betsy shook her head. "That's a lot of money, and he didn't do much. What else you got?" The editor, feeling a bit awkward, offered a 3-line obituary with a maximum of 25 words for $35. But Betsy still found the price too high. "What else you got?" she demanded. Feeling a bit flustered, the ad man blurted out, "We have an economy option, 2 lines, 5 words max, for only $5. Betsy immediately agreed. With the order form in hand, the ad man asked, "Okay, what do you want it to say?" Betsy paused for a moment before replying, "Dan's dead. Car for sale." So an old man and his faithful donkey were walking through the vast and scorching desert, feeling the hots and beneath their feet with each step. The old man had been traveling for days without seeing any sign of civilization, and he was starting to worry that he might not make it through the harsh terrain. But as luck would have it, he eventually stumbled upon a small village in the middle of the desert. The villagers welcomed him with open arms, offering him food, water, and a place to rest. They also took care of his donkey, providing it with food and water as well. As they sat down for dinner, the old man was surprised when they offered him a glass of camel milk. He had heard that it was notoriously bad tasting, and he couldn't help but ask about it. The villagers explained that they had been cursed with an everlasting drought, and that they were saving every drop of water they could find for their crops. They had resorted to drinking camel milk because it was the only source of liquid they had left. The old man smiled knowingly and said, "Truth be told, I am one of the wise. I know how to bring you rain. However, you must first bring me a wide bucket full of water, for I need some to bring more." The next morning, the villagers woke up early to collect every drop of water they still had in reserve. They were determined to get their village out of the drought, and they believed that the old man held the key to their salvation. After collecting all the water they could find, they presented it to the old man. He took the bucket, walked into his host's house, and proceeded to take off his dirty clothes. He then started washing them in the bucket of water. One of the curious kids saw him through the window and ran to alert the other villagers. By the time they arrived, the old man had finished washing his clothes and was calmly hanging them to dry. "Shame on you, old man, for wasting our water when our kids don't have enough to drink," growled the chief of the village. The other villagers joined in, angry that the old man had tricked them into giving him their precious water. But as soon as the chief finished speaking, the sky darkened as the clouds gathered around the village. It started raining, and it did not stop for 5 days straight. The villagers got their fill, and everyone's reserves were overflowing. The old man was treated as a guest of honor and a hero, and the chief apologized profusely for ever doubting him. Only when he was about to leave did the kid gather the courage to ask about how he did it. "It's simple," said the old man with a smile. "This always happens when I hang my clothes to dry."